But we have our little, they're going to stop the garbage collection. We have our little corner of the world. We belong to a synagogue, and it's very heartwarming. It's not at all comic material, you know. We had this organic community. My kids, my friends, our parents, and my kids' friends, and so on. So one of the things that we are doing in our synagogue is that we are suing the Egged Bus Company for discrimination, okay? That I don't know how many of you know this, but there is a Haredi bus line that it is only serves the Haredim, and you know, the men have to sit in the front and the women have to sit in the back, and it doesn't stop at any normal stop that a normal person would like. Anyway, so the funniest part about this was that who shows up on our bus one morning but Donna International, right? So she goes to the back of the bus, and they kick her to the front, and then she goes to the front, and they kick her to the front. Anyway, if for no other reason, this suit of ours is justified. Another big visitor we had this week was this guy Donald Burston, right? He's this Swedish journalist who had this blood libel story. Okay, so in the end, why is he here? You're not going to believe this. His aunt needs a liver transplant, okay? This is the place to go. Anyway, we had one of the bigger successes was there is a Israeli director, producer, writer by the name of Oren Peli who made this movie for $15,000, and it's called Paranormal Activity, and it's grossed $100 million, okay, within like the first month, okay. So now, what kind of a movie can you make for $15,000, right? It's a movie in which his friends star, and so they couldn't do special effects, so they had to kill them all at the end. But it's this horror movie, right? It's a movie in which a camcorder records this couple in bed for the whole movie, okay? And then they record going the bumps in the night, as well as some ghosts. But it's sort of a weird movie, and what's the horror part of this whole movie, okay, is that she wakes him up every 20 minutes to talk about their relationship, okay? If you can imagine what a horror movie is about, that's really frightening. But I mean, how do you know you're in a lousy horror movie, right? Of course, they have goats instead of ghosts, you know, and the only boo you hear is the audience yelling at the screen, and the main protagonists are in bed with the swine flu the whole movie, and the weird sounds you hear are an improperly loaded dishwasher, you know. I mean, this is really it's a horrible movie. And of course, the scariest thing is the size of the popcorn at that's whatever. But that's one of our big victories. You know, I mean, if you want to know a real big movie victory, of course, the biggest movie producing, or one of the bigger ones, was this Golan Globus when they did the Terminator 25 years ago, right? And you know, and then it brought in $300 million, and it was elected governor by the people of California. You know, I mean, that was a successful movie. That was really a winner. Anyway, anybody do a Google search this week? Okay, and who was all over Google? Sesame Street. Sesame Street was all over Google, right? 40 years for Sesame Street, right? They finally learned how to spell AARP, you know, I mean, so they had Michelle Obama on the show, okay? So it was a little tense because, you know, Bert and Ernie get up there and they start prodding her, well, what about gay marriage? What about gay marriage? And then, of course, she gave them this lesson on how to grow vegetables, you know, in your garden. You know, and they think, the vegetables, let's fry Big Bird, you know, I mean, that's American kids today, you know, they couldn't care less about their vegetables. But yeah, Google has said that they're now going to give you free Wi-Fi at your airport location, okay? Yeah. I mean, that's great. I mean, how else are you going to get pornography except for following the senator into a stall, you know? I mean, Google is going to provide it all. But Obama's doing a great job. He is making great strides on equality. You know, he has shown that both you can have a lousy president whether you're black or white. Okay, I mean, that, if he's not remembered for anything else in this world, he will be remembered for that. And he has a new program out, you know, to pay the Taliban to switch sides. Right? Okay, so if it works, he's going to you know, try it on Fox News, okay, you know, you know, so anyway, it's called, the program is called Don't Ask, Don't Taliban, you know, or the reality show version is called Moolah for Moolah, you know, in which he promises these people 72 virgins and full dental coverage. So anyway, in a related news item, 10 million unemployed Americans signed up for the Taliban this week. And they had recent elections in America, right? You know, whatever, every November 4th or so. They had in Maine, right? They approved medical marijuana, but they didn't approve gay marriage. Okay, I guess they were worried that two guys would get so high they'd marry each other. I don't know what the And then there's this big suit in Florida, right, that an employee came in wearing a tag that said "One Nation Under God," okay, and this was just not acceptable. So, you know, but you know, you haven't heard God in Home Depot. I mean, they say it all the time. You know, God, doesn't anybody work here? You know? It was like, you know, it's an unprecedented suit because no one ever actually found someone who worked in Home Depot before. It was really. Whatever, precedent-setting in every sense. And then Donald Trump's daughter got married last week, okay? Are you ready for this? And she became an Orthodox Jew, okay? So she got married at one of his golf courses, and so of course they immediately kicked her off. And then so whatever, he's got a lot of money. He had Michael Bloomberg on top of the wedding cake. It was really it was really a scene. But actually, I wanted to tell the one joke. I'm going to tell a real joke, and the joke goes as follows. That this guy is on a desert island, okay, and this beautiful young thing comes up in this skin-tight wetsuit, right? Okay, and so she starts zipping this down, and she pulls out from over one breast a flask, and she says, "You want a drink?" And the guy says, "Yeah!" So then she zips down one more, shows some sleeve, she pulls out from over the other breast, she pulls out some cigars, and she says, "You want to smoke?" And the guy goes, "Yeah!" Anyway, so she zips it down to her navel, and she looks him in the eyes, and she says, "You want to play around?" And the guy says, "What, you got golf clubs in there too?" Anyway, I bring that up because Obama is, you know, been playing, he plays a lot of golf, right? He's played more golf in 9 months than Bush did in 3 years, okay? And so, and he's only been playing with men, okay? So finally he invites one of the women on his staff to play with them, of course. And anyway, as the joke says, how does Fox News report this? Obama plays around with another woman, you know. That's the way it's supposed to go. Anyway, let's see, other assorted news topics we had in Malaysia. This woman gave birth on the plane, okay, so she gets a free lifetime of travels on the plane, okay, and so, you know, I would think the guy next to her is the one who deserves a free lifetime of travel. And gee, that doesn't make any difference. And of course, we had George Bush, who joined the motivational series, motivational circuit series, and so you know, becoming a motivational speaker, and so. He was very effective. I mean, you know, half the people. I mean, first of all, he's a very motivational kind of guy, right? So many people to vote for Obama. I mean, that's right off. And then, of course, during the course of this speech, half the people got up and left. You know, and they only had one shoe on them. Whatever. Yeah, they only had one shoe. Okay, we'll leave that alone. Anyway, the last point, the last news item of the month was that a survey came out, of course, and that it found that as women age, their faces become like their mothers. Okay, so and they wrinkle like their mothers. Okay, so you know, I mean, who is going to publish some sort of statistic like that other than the American Society of Wrong Things to Say to Your Wife? I mean, who cares about that kind of thing? Anyway, you all saw that the House, the health bill, right? 1,990 pages long. I mean, you know, something to read while you're waiting for your doctor. It's really bad news out there. And finally, the UN has decided that they're going to send vouchers for food as an SMS text messages to all the Iraqis. Okay, and this is of course for the people who can't afford food but can't afford cell phones.